They say basketball is a game of moments, flashes of talent that can change everything. Sometimes those moments happen under the brightest lights, with millions watching. Other times, they happen in high school gyms, long before the world knows a name. And sometimes, they happen in the summer, in pickup games where legends are born or broken. This is the story of Lenny Cooke, a name that once meant more than LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, or Dwyane Wade in the eyes of scouts, coaches, and insiders. A kid who dominated courts with a lethal blend of speed, skill, and confidence, who left a trail of destroyed defenders and shattered expectations. And then, one summer changed everything. Lenny Cooke was the type of player who made you stop and stare. Born and raised in New York City, he carried the swagger and skill of a future NBA star before the words "future NBA star" were even spoken aloud about him. He had a game that was built to turn heads, smooth ball handling, lightning-quick first step, a jumper that was deadly from anywhere beyond the arc, and the kind of athleticism that made defenders look lost. High school basketball in New York was a battlefield, but Lenny was king of the concrete jungle. At his peak, Cooke was consistently ranked as the number one high school player in the nation. Ahead of him, players like LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwyane Wade, who all later became NBA superstars. That alone tells you how much potential Lenny had. Scouts weren't just impressed, they were obsessed. Recruiting services projected him as a top NBA draft pick. Analysts predicted a franchise-changing talent. Cooke's name was whispered alongside the greatest high school players ever. But the most jaw-dropping thing? The sheer dominance he displayed over LeBron James in a high school matchup that still echoes in basketball lore. It was a game that few expected to be anything special, a summer matchup at Adidas's elite ABCD camp. But when Lenny Cooke's squad faced off against LeBron James's St. Vincent Street Mary team, it turned into a battle for the ages. LeBron was already getting national attention for his size, strength, and skill at just 16 years old. But on this day, it wasn't the chosen one who ruled the court. It was Lenny. Game after game, Lenny torched LeBron's defense with a combination of crafty dribbling and pinpoint shooting. He scored at will, pulling up from deep, attacking the rim with ferocity, and dishing out assists that seemed to come from nowhere. LeBron, typically unshakable, looked rattled. Lenny's relentless aggression exposed every gap in the defense, breaking down plays before they even formed. The stat sheet told the story. Lenny outscored LeBron, outplayed him, and outsmarted him. In that moment, the basketball world saw what insiders already knew. Lenny Cooke was the real deal. The guy who could crush even the most hyped high school phenoms. But this story isn't just about one dominating performance. It's about what happened next, that summer, when everything spiraled. After high school, Lenny made a shocking decision. He skipped college, jumped straight to preparing for the NBA draft. At the time, it was a bold but calculated move. Players like Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett had successfully made the jump from high school to the pros. Lenny's skill set seemed perfectly suited for the NBA. Then came the infamous summer of 2002. It was supposed to be Lenny's proving ground, a chance to show scouts he was ready for the next level. Instead, it became a nightmare. In summer leagues and pickup games, Lenny struggled. His once unstoppable confidence seemed to evaporate. His handles looked sloppy, his shooting off. Meanwhile, a rising star named LeBron James was exploding onto the national stage, playing in televised summer events, showing poise and maturity beyond his years. The pressure got to Lenny. Instead of rising, he faltered. Scouts started questioning everything. Was his game too one-dimensional? Did he lack the mental toughness? Was he really ready for the NBA? That summer, a bubble burst, and the name that once topped all rankings fell off the map. Lenny Cooke's story is a reminder that raw talent doesn't guarantee success. In basketball, especially at the highest level, mental toughness, discipline, and timing matter just as much. Lenny could dominate on instinct, but he never developed the off-court habits that stars like LeBron and Wade were building behind the scenes. Winning in high school is one thing, grinding through film, weight sessions, and non-stop pressure is another. The difference between a top recruit and a Hall of Famer isn't just athleticism, it's mindset. LeBron spent that summer sharpening his game and surrounding himself with people who pushed him. Lenny, meanwhile, chased the spotlight without building a solid foundation. That's the fine line. And once you cross it the wrong way, it's hard to get back. Talent may open the door, but toughness keeps you inside. And Lenny, for all his gifts, couldn't match the mental edge of the stars he once outshined. Behind the headlines and highlight reels, Lenny's life was complicated. He faced personal challenges that affected his focus. Stories surfaced about missed workouts, bad habits, and lost motivation. The support systems around him faltered. But even deeper than that, there were environmental factors few fans ever consider. Lenny didn't have the same resources, mentors, or structured environment that others had. The business of basketball, agents, scouts, AAU politics hit him fast, and with no blueprint to follow, he got swept up in the chaos. He was still a teenager, navigating adult decisions with millions on the line. There were moments where a steady hand could have changed everything. Someone to say, "Wait, let's slow down. Let's do this the right way." But that hand never came. Add to that the relentless pressure of being labeled the next big thing, and it becomes clear. Lenny wasn't just battling opponents. He was battling an entire system that expected greatness, but never taught him how to sustain it. Lenny went undrafted in the 2002 NBA draft, a moment that stunned those who once saw him as a lock for lottery status. Just a year prior, he was projected to go in the top 10. But that summer slump and lack of structured preparation cost him everything. After that, he tried to stay in the game. Lenny signed with the USBL and later played in minor leagues like the CBA, bouncing between short contracts and tryouts. He also took his talents overseas, playing in the Philippines and China, places where the spotlight was dimmer but the grind was real. His performances, though, were inconsistent. Lenny struggled with conditioning, and his confidence, once his strongest asset, seemed to waver. There were flashes of brilliance, moments where the old Lenny returned, but they came too infrequently to make a real comeback. Multiple attempts to latch onto an NBA Summer League roster failed. Despite brief stints with the Boston Celtics and Seattle Supersonics summer teams, he never broke through. Teams saw the potential but questioned his work ethic, fitness, and focus. By 2010, the dream had faded. He was no longer the phenom from ABCD camp, but a cautionary tale whispered in scouting circles. And while the world moved on to the next generation of stars, Lenny was left to process what could have been, not just a missed shot at the NBA, but a missed legacy. In the end, Lenny Cooke's story isn't just about what he lost. It's about what it reveals about basketball and life. It shows how razor-thin the margin is between greatness and obscurity. How one summer, one decision, one moment can change everything. It reminds us that behind every superstar are choices, sacrifices, and struggles. Not every player gets perfect guidance. Not every star gets a second chance. Lenny's story lives on because it represents the other side of potential, the what could have been that shadows every high school phenom. A tale of pressure, preparation, and paths not taken. For young athletes, it's a reality check. Talent opens doors, but discipline and direction keep them open. Cooke's journey is both a warning and a lesson, one that still echoes in gyms and scouting circles everywhere. If you found Lenny Cooke's story compelling, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We've got more stories of basketball's greatest rises, falls, and everything in between, where talent meets heart and legends are made or broken. Because in basketball and in life, it's not just about how you start. It's about what you do next.